Hi everyone, Alison here at Keeping Healthy Living. Welcome to our next Movement Matters Rethinking Pain session. Today I'm going to do a mixture of standing exercises and seated exercises. We're going to be using one of these, a yoga block. So if you've got one, grab one. If you haven't, a cushion will do. So you can use a cushion. Nice to be back after my week's holiday last week. So lovely to join you this afternoon. Do let me know if you're joining me by liking the page or commenting in the box. Always great to hear from you. Do love to know who's watching. So even if you're joining me later on catch up, do message me or just like the page so I know that you've joined me. So I'll introduce myself to the people that don't know me. My name's Alison. I'm the exercise coordinator at Keeping Healthy Living, and our Rethinking Pain service is all about finding alternative methods to help with people in long-term pain. So the session today is focusing on gentle exercises that will help you move more and help with long-term pain. So before we start the workout today, you need to check the area around you is free from any hazards, nothing to trip or fall over, nothing sharp to knock into. Before you exercise, you need to be feeling fit and well. Hopefully you've had something to eat. And if you have any medical conditions, you've checked with your GP that you're okay to exercise with them. You'll need a chair. And as we already said, a cushion or a block. Good idea to have some water at the ready as well, because we do get rather warm when we're working out and it's important to keep hydrated. So if you're ready, find a space. We're going to do the warm up standing up, then we'll do a little bit of standing holding onto the back of the chair, and then we'll do some seated. Okay, so I'm just going to put my yoga block on the seat of my chair for the time being, and I'm going to go into some space, and we're just going to start off with some nice little shoulder shrugs, just lifting and lowering. If you're unable to stand, you can just do these seated on the chair, and then over to the other side, just lifting and lowering, head looking forwards, back nice and tall, tummy nice and tight, and then we're just going to circle those shoulders. Nice gentle movements. And over to the other side. And then we're just going to take a little knee lift with the right leg. If you feel a bit unsteady with this, you can hold onto the back of your chair as you knee lift that right leg. Again, you can do this sat down as well. And over to the other side, just lifting straight in front of the body. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're just going to march with the feet. Again, if you sat on the chair, you can just move your knees and march your way through. And then we're going to take a hamstring curl. So we're just going to curl the heel towards the bottom. So if you sat on the chair, it would be that your heel was curling behind you. And then over to the other side. So just curling up, heel to bottom. Shoulders back, tummy nice and tight. And then marching through again. Now we're going to just take our hands in front, and we're going to turn to the right and center, left and center, right, center, left, center. Just warming up through the middle of your body. One more each side, and then we're going to take it to a side bend. So we're just taking it over and lifting up. Hips facing forwards, back tall, tummy tight. Shoulders nice and relaxed. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just marching it through. Again, hips facing forwards, and we're just going to lift alternate knees. Get us all warmed up today. ready for our workout. 4, 3, 2, 1, and march it through again. With our head, we're just going to look to the right and center, left and center, right, center, left, center. One more each side. And then we're just going to glance up and look down, taking care not to take that head back too far. And look down, glance up and look down. Okay, so first set of exercises are going to be holding onto the back of the chair. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to push the bottom back and then pull up using the back of the chair. So my body weight is forward onto the back of that chair. So I'm just pushing the bottom back and lifting up, pushing the bottom back and lifting up. So I'm protecting my knees by pushing my hands down into that chair. Push back and lift up. Push back and lift up. And if you're seated on the chair and unable to stand, you can just do some more of those alternate knee lifts. Down, push up. So we're working through the strength in our thighs and our bottom squeezing as we come up. And if you press your pelvis forward, you also work your pelvic floor as well as you come up. 2 more. And last one. Okay, from this position, we're going to take the foot back and we're going to curl the heel towards the bottom. So I'm just curling that heel in. On the chair, you could just take the legs out in front of you and curl the foot underneath the chair. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it there. Let's switch over to the other side. Heel towards the bottom. So working the hamstrings, back of the thigh. Good one for keeping mobile, keeping those hamstrings working. And relaxing there, okay. Standing to the front, we're going to lift the outside leg just in towards the body. So I'm going to crunch in and release it down, using my arm at the same time, holding onto the chair. So by doing this, I've got a bit of weight bearing going on my standing leg. Okay, so weight bearing's good for preventing weak bone diseases. So we're just lifting and lowering, using that weight. 2 more. And last one. Okay, again, if you're on the chair, you can do the knee lift seated. So then we're going to take the opposite leg and we're going to take the opposite hand towards the knee. So just taking it in and down, in and down. Hips facing forwards, back tall, tummy nice and tight. If you feel that you can work a little bit harder now, let's try taking the opposite elbow to knee. Let's do 4 of those. And last one, relax there. Let's switch the chair over to the other side and we will do the same thing on the other side. So first of all, we're taking the outside leg and we're bringing it straight in towards the tummy. So we'll use a bicep curl to work the hands a little bit as we do that. Keeping that back tall and keeping that tummy nice and tight. Hips facing forwards. 2 more. Last one. Then switch sides. So we're going to take that knee in and take the hand across. And then if you're ready, you can use the opposite elbow to knee. And we're just going to do 4 of those. Relaxing there. Holding onto the back of the chair once more. Feet parallel, we're going to push the bottom back and use the thighs to pull us up. Push your bottom back, pull up, back, pull up, back, pull up. Squeezing through that bottom as you do that. Back, pull up, back, pull up. 2 more. Last one. And rest there. Okay, taking the leg backwards, we're going to curl the heel towards the bottom. Second set for those hamstring curls. So heel towards the bottom. Two more. Last one and rest there. Over to the other side, curling that heel towards the bottom, working that hamstring on the back of the leg. Two. And last one. Relax down. Okay, I'm going to move my chair backwards now. And we're going to sit on the chair. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to think about working my arms. So I'm going to use the yoga block as my prop for this. Okay. I'm going to work the tricep, which is at the back of the arm here. If you don't have a yoga block, you could just use a cushion. Okay, one hand's going to go in the hip and I'm going to take the yoga block behind me. So I'm imagining that I'm brushing my back. So I'm going to take it down and lift it up. Now, if you have any blood pressure issues or heart problems, you need to keep your feet moving at the same time. So what I'm going to do is just lift my heels off the floor as I do that. So I get the added bonus of it working my calves as well. Head looking forwards, just bending and straightening the arm, working through the tricep, which is the top of the arm, just right here. 2 more. And last one. Relaxing it there, and we're going to switch over to the other side now. So I've got the arm bent, head looking forwards. I'm just having my other hand resting. Okay, and I'm resting it on my hip, but you can just put it down by your side as we lift the block into the air. I've chosen the blocks because they're nice and soft because I don't want to clunk myself on the back of the head. So if you're using a cushion, that's great. Four, 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Okay, we're going to place the yoga block now between the thighs, and we're going to squeeze the thighs together. So we're working our pelvic floor and inner thighs. You might want to just slide yourself a bit further forward on the chair. If the feet are flat on the floor, that's going to work well too. So we're just going to squeeze onto the block and release using those inner thighs. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. Hips facing forwards. Back total me in. Squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Okay, this time we're going to squeeze onto the block and hold. When we're holding, as I've said before, hold the block, not your breath. If it helps, because it sometimes can be difficult not to hold your breath, try counting out loud with me, because believe me, when you count out loud, you can't hold your breath. Okay, off we go. So we're going to squeeze. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, squeeze and hold. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, release. Again, squeeze and hold. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, release. Really think about squeezing up through that pelvic floor and imagine that you're trying to pull everything up from inside. One more time, 4 quick squeezes and then a squeeze and hold. So squeeze, 2, 3, 4, squeeze and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, release. Okay, we're going to slide the block now to the lower calves. And we're going to do the same exercise. As I've moved the block, we'll feel it on the outer thighs too. So just squeeze, squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep going. And last one, 8. I'm going to pick this block up now and I'm going to take it in front of me. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take the body backwards to the back of the chair and then we're going to pull the body up, squeezing and lifting up. Okay, so I'm trying to keep the block over my knees. I won't be able to do that, but that's the aim because we want to think about working the back. So I'm going to go back with my back and use my tummy muscles to lift me. It's a really good one for the core. Helps strengthen the back and strengthen the tummy muscles, and it's great for a flat tummy if you're working towards a flat tummy. So we're going to put the block in front and we're just going to take it back and lift up, back and lift up, shoulders back, tummy nice and tight, back, lift up, back, lift up, hips facing forwards and back tall, back, lift up, back, lift up, back, lift up. 2 more. And last one, relax it there. Okay, we're going to go back for 2 and up for 2. Back for 2 and up for 2. Back for 2, up for 2. Back for 2, up for 2. Twice more. Back for 2, up for 2, and last one, relax it there. Did you feel that in your tummies? Okay, still holding the block or the cushion, we're going to turn to the sides and think about working the sides of our body. So keeping this block or cushion as an anchor, we're going to turn to the side and center. If you have any brittle bone conditions such as osteoporosis, you need to take care that you don't twist too far. So just make a very, very gentle twist, sort of to a 45-degree angle rather than twisting right round. Okay, so we're going to have the block in front of us. I'm going to turn to the side and center, side and center, side and center, side and center. Now we're going to do 8 towards the right hand side. Ready to join me? So side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and over to the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and relax there. Now, if you feel that you could do a few more of those, let's just do 4 more to each side. If you feel that you want to rest this one out, that's entirely up to you. Okay, so we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and over to the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and rest there. Taking the block in front of the body again, we're going to do a second set of those tummy exercises where we go back and lift up. Heels flat on the floor, and then we're just making sure we've got plenty of space behind us. So we're going to go back and lift up, back and lift up, back and lift up. Hips facing forwards, back tall, tummy in nice and tight. Back and lift up, back and lift up, back, lift up. 2 more, And last one, rest it there. Of course, you could do those exercises without the block if you wanted, if you just put your hands in front. So the next exercise I'm going to do, you can do with or without the block too, and it's one for the arms. So we're going to work with the deltoid on the top of the arm this time. So this one's a good one for strengthening arms. Good for helping you carry shopping bags back if you've done a big shop. Okay, so we're going to take one hand down by the side. The other hand has got the block in it, and it's facing down to the floor. So I can either have a block down or a block out, but the palm is facing down. Hand no higher than shoulder height. So we're going to take it down and lift it up. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to keep those toes moving again, working the back of the calves and keeping that blood flow going to my heart because we've got some circulation going around the body. Head looking forwards. And after not too many, we start to feel it here on the top of the arm. 2 more. Last one. And then we're just going to go up for 2 and down for 2. Up for 2, down for 2, up for 2, down for 2, and one last one. Relax the block down. Over to the other side, so hand out to the side, the other hand down by the side, palm facing down. Take the block down and lift up. Hips facing forwards, and again, keep those feet moving if you've got any heart conditions, blood pressure conditions. Keep that circulation going around the body. Using those feet. Back tall, tummy nice and tight, and we're just lifting to shoulder height. Controlling that movement so it's actually the muscle doing the work and not momentum. So let's do the slow ones now. So we're going up for 2 and down for 2, up for 2, down for 2, up for 2, down for 2, up for 2, down for 2, and last one. Relax it there. Okay. Are we all right after that one? If you want to just give your arms a little stretch, push your hand in front, take the hand between the joints and just look over the shoulder, stretching out that upper arm because it is quite achy after doing that exercise. And release over to the other side, between the joints, look over. It's quite normal to exercise, to ache and feel a little bit of discomfort when you're exercising because you're using muscle groups that you probably wouldn't normally use. Okay then, from here we are going to take that block and place the block to one side for the moment, and we'll do some work on the legs. So we already did some hand curls standing. We're going to start off with some hand curls seated now. So if you want to hold on to your side of your chair to do that, you can. And we're just going to flex the foot and curl it back. Flex and curl. So working the muscles in the back of the legs through the hamstrings. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold there. From this position with a straight leg, we're going to take that leg out to the side and use the inner thigh to bring it back in. So we're going out and bringing it in. So I'm working the outer thigh on the way out and the inner thigh on the way in. Out, bring in, out, bring in, out, bring in. Keep going. Last one, rest that leg down. Let's do the same on the other side. So we're just going to flex and curl. Flex and curl. Keeping that back tall. Keeping that tummy in nice and tight. Heel forwards, working through that hamstring. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it there. So from here, we're just going to take that foot out and bring it in, leading with the heel. Using the inner thigh, using the outer thigh. Out bring in, out, bring in, back tall, tummy in nice and tight. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest it there. Did you feel that in your thighs? We fairly worked the thighs today, standing and squeezing and all what we've done. Okay then, so the next exercise, we're going to think about working down through the inner thigh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put my foot and I'm going to turn my foot slightly. So I'm going to be lifting it across the body. So we're really focusing on working the instep here with the seam. So we're just going to lift and lower. And after doing that other one with the outer thighs, this feels very nice indeed. So lift and lower, lift and lower. It doesn't take long before you feel these. Last one, rest down. Over to the other side, so flexing that foot, and we're taking it just sort of across the body, working from the inner thigh. So lifting and lowering. Keeping the back tall, keeping the tummy in, nice and tight. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Now then, from this position, I'm going to do my final exercise. We're going to use the yoga block. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to take the body back, but we're just going to take the block to one side as we do that. So I'm going to take the block back and bring it up again. So make sure before you start this exercise that you've got plenty of space around you and that you can bring your block back without banging into the wall or banging into something. So block in front, and we're going to take the body back and bring it up. Back and bring it up. So I'm working through the sides of my body as I do that. Back, bring up, back, bring up, back, bring up. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Over to the other side. Back and bring up, back and bring up, back and bring up. Keep it going. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it there. Okay, place that block to the floor now. The final bit of our workout today, our movement session, is to stretch out all those muscle grips. This is really beneficial. Helps get rid of all the aches and pains from the exercise, and also helps with your flexibility, and hopefully will help with your pain. So we're going to bring in the knee in towards the chest and just hold it there. This exercise gives you a nice stretch through your bottom. And then we're just going to circle the foot. And let's take that back the other way, circling round. From here, we're just going to point that toe forwards. Hold there, and then we're just going to flex that foot. Hold that position. Reach your hands towards the shoelaces if you like. If you prefer to place it on the floor and do that, that's fine. You should feel a stretch down the back of the leg through those hamstrings. Now we're going to take the heel of that leg onto the calf, feeling a stretch through the outer thigh. Hold it there. If you like, you can extend that stretch, lift up underneath the knee or on top of the leg, and just take the body weight slightly forward so we get a stretch through the outer thigh, and work. You might feel a little stretch on the inner thigh too. Hips stay facing forward all the time on this one. Then we're going to just take the knee over the other leg if we can, and then using the opposite hand to knee, we're going to look over the shoulder. Releasing there, and we're just going to do exactly the same over on the other side. Same knee and elbow together. Release there. Take the feet in front, and then we'll do the same on the other side. So knee lift in towards the chest. Hold it there. And then we're just going to circle the foot round. and back the other way. Point the toe forwards. And then we're going to flex the foot so we feel a really nice stretch through the hamstring at the back of the leg. Reach towards the shoelaces if you can. If you prefer to place the foot on the floor to do that, you can. And then we feel that stretch again through the hamstring. Picking that foot up and placing the heel onto the calf, feeling the stretch through the outer thigh. And then we're just slowly going to lift that leg up underneath the knee or on top of the knee if you prefer, and lean forwards. If you prefer to keep it on your calf and do this, that's fine. Bring that body weight slightly forwards. Feel that stretch in the inner thigh. And then we're going to take the knee over the other leg, opposite elbow to knee, looking over the shoulder, feeling the stretch through the sides of the body. And release there. Same knee and elbow together and open out the chest. Release it there. Bring the feet back in front. We're going to take now the right leg out to the side so we just feel a nice stretch in the inner thigh. If you prefer to just take it out to the side with a bent knee, that's absolutely fine. So we're feeling that stretch here in that inner thigh. Bring the feet back together, and then we're going to do the same at the other side, either a straight leg or a bent leg. I'm using straight today. I think last time I used the bent leg version. Just so that you feel that stretch in the inner thigh, because we've done quite a lot of exercises using those thighs today. And then release there. Okay, place the hands on the back of your thighs, pull the tummy in and round the lower back. So I'm getting a nice stretch through that lower back area. So this one's really good for an achy back. Head in line with the spine, pull that tummy in nice and tight. And then from here, I'm just going to place the hands onto the thighs and press the chest forward so I get a nice stretch through the chest. Lifting the arms up, wiggling the toes and keeping the feet moving. Pull the tummy in and feel a nice stretch through those tummy muscles. As we do that, we're just going to drop one hand down to the side and reach towards the corner. Release it there and repeat on the other side. Lift up and towards the corner. Relax. Push the hands forward. So we're stretching through the upper back. And then place the hands in the small of the back and press the chest forward so we get a nice stretch all the way across the front of that chest. On to stretching those hard worked arms now. Place the right hand between the shoulder blades and the left hand over the top or push from the front. So whichever position this one or this one feels the best to you. We should feel that stretch here in the upper arm. Release it there, and we're going to do the same at the other side. So the hand goes between the shoulder blades, the other hand goes either over the top or pushes from the front, and we feel that nice stretch in the upper arms. And release it there. From there, we're going to take the hand onto the side of the head and just reach out to the side so we get a nice stretch through the neckline and through the arm. Careful not to pull on the neck. Feeling that lovely stretch through. And release there, over to the other side. Feel that stretch through that neckline. And then that hand that's out to the side, we're going to bring it in front. Show with the palm, hold between the joints, look over your shoulder. Once again, feeling the stretch in your upper arm, because we did this one earlier. And relaxing down, over to the other side, hand up, show me the palm, hold between the joints, and look over the shoulder. Release those arms there. If you're able to stand, we're just going to do the last 2 stretches standing, because obviously we started off with some standing at the beginning of the class, or the beginning of the session, should I say. So we're going to go into the standing now, and take hold of your chair. So we're holding the back of the chair with this one. Okay, so holding onto the back of the chair, you're just going to curl that heel back, hold onto the heel or the shoelaces, or you can hold the bottom of your trousers. We're aiming to get a stretch at the front of the thigh. If you've got a scarf, you can use a scarf or an exercise band to pull your foot in. And then we're just releasing it there. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Press the pelvis forward, feel that stretch through the front of the thigh. And then that leg that we've got hold of, we're going to take that one back, bend the front knee and just give that calf a nice stretch at the back. So the heels are pressed into the floor, and then we're going to lift the heel up off the floor so we get a stretch here in the hip flexor. Over to the other side, foot back, front knee bent, body weight forwards, feeling that stretch down through the back of the calf. And then we're just going to raise that foot up off the floor so we get that stretch again in that hip flexor. And then we're just taking the feet together and we're just going to push the bottom back. So we get a nice stretch through the bottom and through those thighs. And it's a lovely stretch, that. Release it there. Okay, give your hands a shake and give your legs a shake. Well done. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon and taking part in our Movement Matters session. I hope you enjoyed the session. And I hope that I will see you again next time. Once again, do like the page to let us know that you've joined us. All the videos are left on here, so you can view them at a later date. You can also find some more videos on the Movement Matters website. If you're in the Craven area, get in touch with your GP and to be signed up to our Rethinking Pain programme. Hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye.